Hello, Magna. How are you today? My name is Emmanuel Adebola, and I'd like to tell you a story. Prior to coming to Canada, I'd worked for 12 years for one of the top consulting firms in the world. I was at the position of being a senior manager, and I was next in line to being the next MD partner for the organization. But along the line, there came an opportunity for me to work at the same level in Canada. And for me, coming to North America had been a lifelong dream. So I made a critical decision. Do I want to position myself to be the next managing director, or do I make the sacrifice for my family? I decided to go with North American dream. And so we processed the document, and the company did a very good job of, filing all the documents, and we all got our documents ready. I had a very good job. The salary was $165,000 basic, plus other benefits. But the funny thing was that when the company finished all of the process, and I was ready, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. They made an interesting decision and said, we have a change of mind. Maybe we should stay back in Nigeria. At that point, I said, no, sorry. You already woke a lion. I keep going. It's forward ever, backward never. So I knew I had a work permit. I just didn't understand the immigration policies of Canada. So I made a decision to, move forward, and I brought my family into the country. But it was when I got here that it then dawned on me that what I had was a closed work permit, which meant the only company that I could work for legally was that organization. So I went back cap in hand saying, guys, I'm sorry, please let me in. And then they found one excuse or the other not to take me in. And so here was I, about out of status. I didn't know what to do when mercifully my wife and I met a lawyer who advised us of the next steps. And what he said essentially was that my wife should go to school. She went to Sheridan College and studied a course, and then I had an open work permit. The only problem was that at this stage of my life, I had become demoralized. I'm somebody who's normally very optimistic about life. I'm very jovial and stuff, but it had gotten into me. So I was just looking for any job to pay the bills. And that's when I came to Mother Tech. I remember my very first day in the town of Milton. I was staffed on the afternoon shift, and the first assignment I was given was to be putting some plugs inside some device. I was like, what? But I did it. And for the next 3 years of my life, afternoons, nights, days, it was something else. It was what I never expected, because prior to coming to Canada, I had very good grades. I have an MBA from Cranfield University, UK. I had done many things. My first career was as an IT professional. So you could say I was very cerebral and I was very assured. But life hit me. And those 3 years were tough. I was in the fabrication department, worked with different people, temps. I was a temp for a while, then became a full staff in Mother Tech. And, what I did not realize then was that with every challenge that I overcame on the shop floor, I was becoming somebody different, but I did not know. And so in 2021, after the pandemic, there was something that happened in Canada. Canada is a very immigration-friendly country. Canada then decided to look inwards and see the people in the pool. And that's when my wife and we got the opportunity to apply for the PR, and we got permanent residency in 2021. So when that happened, I then approached the HR, Colin McClure, an area leader HR in Mother Tech, and said, by the way, I can also do IT. Oh, she said, you can do IT? I said, yes. So she said, okay, we're applying, recruiting for help desk. Can you do help desk? The funny thing about that question was that if she had asked me that question in 2016 when I was still getting ready to come to Canada, I would say, me? I'm a senior manager. But by that time, life had hit me, and I would take it, because somehow I had the wisdom to recognize that help desk role, as similarly small as it was the connection back to the front office. And that's exactly what in 2 days interviewed, I had the job. And then, when I started, everybody was, oh, you're so good, you're so good. I just smiled. I can do that work in my sleep. but I was on a journey. And so when I started doing the work, I was enjoying my work. I had fun. I had access to the GM, everybody across the chain. And I began to think, I'm enjoying this job. Shouldn't I go back to the company that brought me? Because I'm a consultant, right? I can make a lot more money from this. But the company hesitated to take me. And so I said, okay, forget it. And over time, I've had the confidence to say, okay, I will now focus on my future. And my future is with Magna. I have become who I am because Magna gave me a door. I came into Canada 2017. This is 2022. I've done many things. I'm not the same person. I'm back to who I am. The funny thing was when I started behaving like this, people were like, you're acting differently. And I said, I'm not acting differently. Who you knew before was a person that had been beaten and battered. And I told them the story is like the $100 bill, right? Every one of us likes to have the $100 bill in mint. But what if the $100 bill is mashed and beaten and all stuff? It's still the $100 bill, baby. Which means that the value of the brother never changed. Rather, I became a better version of myself. Why do I say that? Because prior to coming to Canada, I was an A student. My approach to failure was treating it as a death sentence. But what Modatech did for me was to help me recognize that failure can be approached two ways. When you approach it as a death sentence, you always be afraid to make mistakes and you avoid like I always did. But when you confront failure as a teacher and a friend, what it happens is that you know you will fail in the course of the journey, but you dare it. And then in the failure, you come out and learn, become a better person. Then you dared and again, and you fail. So failure becomes a necessary part of a journey to greatness, as opposed to just something. So when I realized this, not long ago, I called the members of the fabrication department who I'd worked with. It was after a year I'd worked there. I said, I want to celebrate my graduation because I realized what had happened to me. And I said, I'm going to make the most of this opportunity. And so I celebrated it, bought some nice food for everybody, packed them. I said, thank you. I put it on LinkedIn. I called it my graduation. But not many people understood what was happening. The young man had been transformed. And I have Modatech and Magna to thank for that. So is this a good example of diversity and inclusion? I think it is. It's a beautiful story, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.